Okay everybody, welcome back for another gun store vlog. I am gonna get ready to open up here. First of all, I am sorry that coming a little bit late to you on a video. Make sure I'm in frame there. Been about a week since our last video we uploaded. Been very busy. Anyway, today I have a lot of Gunbroker related stuff I'm gonna be doing. Getting ready some stuff that we had sold in Gunbroker to ship. Also, I have a bunch of guns I've purchased over the last couple of weeks that I really need to get up on Gunbroker too. So I'm going to go through some of those processes with you and probably speak my mind about some strategies you can use in Gunbroker if you use Gunbroker both as a buyer and a seller. Anyway, we're going to get into that now. Also, if anybody happens to come in today with some cool show and tell or trades or anything like that, I'll try and capture that as well. Anyway, stick around. That's coming up right now. Day in paradise. Okay, so I had a couple firearms on auction on Gunbroker that have ended and I've gotten paid for. So I'm going to go ahead and box these up and get them moving to their respective customers. This one here is a pretty interesting Taurus model 445 and 44 special. Does kind of have this, it does not have that hammer spur, but it is a hammer fired revolver and kind of a bright stainless or nickel. Anyway, pretty cool. So that was one on Gunbroker, so I'll get that ready to go out. This one here is pretty interesting as well. It is something that I had never seen before, but if you're into Target 22s, this one's in the box, and I had a customer bring these in. He also had a Colt 1911 and a Smith & Wesson revolver, which I'm going to be filming here in a second because I'm about to put that one on auction. But this is a high standard Victor 22 LR competition handgun. So this is kind of the premier high end of the high standard 22 line. Very, very cool, very heavy, very weighted here. So that was also put up at auction, won by somebody, so I'm gonna get that ready to go out as well. So if you happen to be watching and you won those, they're about to be boxed up and shipped out. So thank you again, guys, for purchasing those. All right, I got both of these guys boxed up and ready to go, so we will get those out today to their corresponding owners. And again, congratulations on winning these, you guys. So here I have several guns that I'm going to be listing up on Gunbroker that I purchased over the past week or so. This is a Browning made in Belgium 22 SA22 takedown. These are actually very uncommon, especially those made in Belgium, from what I understand. Pretty interesting. The bolt is down here on the bottom, and I don't know very much about these, just kind of what I've researched, but the bolt is down here, and the barrel does thread and come off, kind of the original like Ruger 1022 takedown. So really, really cool. This, I believe, was made in the 50s or 60s. Again, don't know super much about it. Here's a magazine tube in the back. Or actually you pull it out and I think you drop the rounds through here. So again, not too much about this, but I'm going to be putting that up on Gunbroker, so that's pretty cool. I have this black cloth out because I'm going to take pictures here. Something else which you might find interesting is a model 19-5 2.5 inch barrel nickel. Not too many of these were made. This is pretty uncommon, so I got this from the same guy that I got that high standard from that you saw earlier, so I'm going to be putting that up as well. Finally, something you don't see a whole lot of, but they're not necessarily highly collectible, are these Taurus 24-7 OSS DS Tactical. This is a 9mm in the original box and everything, so I got that too. Gonna definitely put this up on Gunbroker. So in our store, I'll put this up here. So in our store, I do get, like, most of what our customers come in looking for are, like, you know, your Glocks or AR-15s, AK-47s, that kind of stuff. I don't get a whole lot of people looking for, like, the collectible type stuff. Now, I will from time to time put out more collectible guns we get in on trade out in our display cases, but honestly they don't sell too well here. So I do use Gunbroker a lot as a tool. Currently it is Tuesday, and I always put all my auctions up for 9 days, so 9-day auctions, so they always end on Thursday. Now, I've been dealing with Gunbroker for a little while. I haven't sold thousands of guns, but I definitely sold a few hundred. What I found is those ending in the evening on Thursdays usually do the best. Reason being is most people that following day are going to be getting paychecks, so that way when they're there bidding, they kind of have in their head like, hey, I'm getting paid tomorrow, I'm going to win this tonight, and then you kind of get in on that paycheck right up in advance before you know. If you put it in on Wednesday, or if you have it ending on like a Monday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday, I find that people get those paychecks, and a lot of times if they have any excess cash to spend, they'll go out to gun stores or whatever and spend that, so they might not have that extra income when they're thinking about bidding on your auction. Other things too, I always avoid having auctions end on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, because a lot of times people are doing stuff with their families, that they're out, might be at a bar like on a Saturday night or something, or have to eat, so a lot of people might not be home. Now you can always get your notifications on your cell phone, but still, auctions I've had ending on weekends never seem to do as well. Thursday night's always been the best for me. If you use Gunbroker or you buy on Gunbroker, leave some of your feedback down in the comment section. It'd be interesting to hear from you. Another thing I do is I always do penny start, no reserve, and a lot of people get really worried about doing that. Personally, when I purchase guns on Gunbroker, if it's got a reserve or if they have a starting price that's like maybe around what it's going to go for, even if it's just like a little bit less than what it's worth, I always avoid them, and I feel like a lot of other people do too. You kind of want that feeling like you're going to get a good deal. I've done penny start, no reserve auctions on every single one of my auctions, and I'll tell you, you usually will get exactly what the gun is worth, and oftentimes it usually happens maybe 1 in 4 auctions. It'll actually go far beyond what it's worth. And I think people just get caught up in winning. Say you have that gun you want that's worth $500, or maybe you're looking at a German Luger or something that's worth $1,500, and you get in there early and you're the high bidder at like $500. What a lot of people do, and what I know I do, is I start planning in my head like, oh man, I could totally win this firearm, and I start thinking about having this in my collection, or finding a place for it in my safe. So I start building up this sense of ownership with the firearm before I even own it. So when somebody comes along and outbids me, especially at the last minute, it's like, it almost feels like that gun was stolen from me, and I just want to get back in there and bid more. So these are kind of strategies that people use, especially at live auctions. If you've ever been to a live auction, people just go nuts, and those prices go up really high. And again, too, one other thing is, like, if you have a gun that's worth $1,000, you put it at penny start, no reserve, getting those small incremental bids, that attracts crowds. So when people are searching for like an M1 Garand, or maybe you're into, I don't know, old Winchester lever guns, and you're searching, and maybe you don't even know that much about the particular gun, the collectability or what to look for, but you come across this one that's like, hey, it's an old Winchester lever gun, it's up to $900, it's got 30 bids. You usually take that as like peace of mind, saying, well, there's 30 other people who want it. This thing must be original or authentic. It's not a fake, because obviously other people are here bidding on it. And if it were a false gun or phony, it wouldn't be getting up that high. I personally don't misrepresent my guns. I take a million pictures, which I'm about to do. Even if it's something I don't know very much about, I always say, hey, if there's something, an identifying characteristic about this that you would like to see more pictures of or have me identify, I will let you know. It's impossible to know everything about every gun that comes through the store. But anyway, those are just some tactics you can use. And that's on eBay, that's on Gunbroker, that's anything. And that's both as a buyer and a seller. So anyway, just some food for thought. I thought I would just kind of talk about that a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and bring the camera around, get some photos of this. And then when I post these, I'm going to post these tonight. Like I said, it's Tuesday. I'll put some links if you guys want to follow the auction, or if you're interested in any of these, you can go check that out. My username on Gunbroker is Blazeball. I'll write that down here somewhere. It's been it was my eBay name since, I'm going to go ahead and bring the camera around. It's my eBay name since I was a kid. We had a cat named Blaze, so we called her Blazeball for long, so for whatever reason. And then I decided to use that, and I would hustle and buy and sell airsoft guns. So I've been doing the grind for quite some time, as you can see. So anyway, we'll go ahead and bring this around and get some pictures. So what I do, guys, is I use this black cloth. It's the same cloth I use when I do my gun review videos. And like, I don't know what it is, but the black background just helps kind of the metal pop and the wood pop really well. I don't like using green or red or anything like that. But anyway, pictures are important on any one of my auctions. You know, if you do put out stuff on Gunbroker and you only want to put up 3 or 4 photos, people will probably assume you're hiding something that you don't want to have photographed, or it's just not enough information, and they'll probably move on, especially if there's a lot of other auctions going on with the exact same thing. So I'll go through here and I'll just probably I'll end up with like 40 photos, just a 22 rifle. So I do this on my iPhone. So with the advent of modern cell phone technology, so another thing I do is I'll use a cloth, like a fiber cloth, to get rid of smudges, fingerprints, dust particles. That stuff really does show up in pictures, especially in direct lighting like I have here. And those smudges and dust particles can be mistaken in photographs for worn finish or scratches or scuff marks or anything like that on both wood and metal. So if the firearm does have wear marks, don't try and hide those, definitely show them. Because when the customer gets the firearm anyway, they'll be pissed off that you weren't upfront about that. If there are not wear marks, don't try and confuse the customer and think that there are, because there aren't. So definitely show it off if it's in excellent condition. This is in near mint condition. There's just a couple little nicks here on the wood finish on the heel, which I did get photos of, and I'll mention that in the listing as well. I'll end up taking some more pictures of those handguns I showed you. Like I said, I'm going to put those up on Gunbroker tonight, which will probably list it about a day before this vlog goes up. So you'll be able to go in and check those out if you like. Well guys, that's basically about it. Gonna get ready to close up here for the day. If you use Gunbroker either as a buyer or a seller, and you have interesting feedback or comments or maybe some strategies you use, please leave those down in the comment section. I would be very interested to read those, maybe get some good conversations going. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting that like button or subscribing to our channel if you want to see more videos like this. This is Chris with Marksman Shooting Sports in Westfield, Indiana. You are watching Marksman TV. We will see you next time.